Hello, Fiona, and welcome to Chapter 2 of Starcrossed, or as I like to call it, the problematic chapter. Namely because all that really happens in this chapter is you just sort of explore and get to know the problems of the main character, which really makes it a great chapter for our purposes, which is cynicism. Let's start off with the first and smallest problem, but to her probably the worst problem ever. The chapter actually starts off first line with, "Still without her own car, Helen had to ride her bike to school the next morning." I just love first world problems. The next problem we find out is that it was really hot and humid. She's totally unused to this or unprepared for it, and she's completely unhappy when she finds out. Next, she's on her way to school, and she can't remember if she put on deodorant. She flapped her elbows like chicken wings, trying to catch a whiff of herself as she rode, and was relieved to smell the fruity, powdery scent of some kind of protection. Thank goodness for that. The next problem that happens to her is she actually gets to school. She meets someone named Gretchen, or I guess she doesn't meet her, we do. And despite the fact that they're seniors, Gretchen does not like Helen for something really silly that happened to them when they were in 5th grade. Apparently they were playing hide and seek at Gretchen's house, and Helen had accidentally somehow knocked the bathroom door off of its hinges while Gretchen was using it. First of all, I don't know why she was using the bathroom if they were trying to play hide and seek. Second of all, I don't know how a 5th grader could accidentally knock a door off of its hinges. And third, I really don't understand why this is still plaguing Gretchen's image of Helen like 8 years after it happened. Finally, we actually get to class. The homeroom teacher is named Mr. Hergmanshire, but all the kids call him Hergy, which is just weird because I don't have nicknames for my teachers. And then we meet some other guys named Zach and Matt, where Matt was really into her, but the feeling wasn't that mutual. Despite the fact that they got shoved into a closet together to make out at some party, Helen said she thought like she was kissing her brother, and Matt felt like he was being rejected, which I guess he probably was. At least his feelings make sense. But anyway, they remain good friends. However, there's still some awkwardness between them, which she seems completely devastated about. After you make out with a random guy, I would think you could just go back to being like BFFs with them. I guess that's not how it works for Helen. Poor Helen, more problems. We also learned that she hasn't signed up for AP classes this year. She needs to work in her dad's store. Apparently she calls her dad Jerry, which is just making me think of how Bella Swan called her dad Charlie. And Mr. Hergy says, alright, well, I mean, if you don't want any academic challenges, that's fine if you need to work. But if you feel like you want one, then come and join my AP English class at any point in the semester, which is totally possible in an advanced placement class. She says that even the thought of, like, displaying her academic excellence gave her a bellyache. We also learn that she keeps growing taller. At lunch, Cho Chang is talking about how Jason is almost too pretty. And Lucas is an uber babe, so apparently I think she thinks that Lucas is gay or something, and she likes Jason. Zach is saying that Ariadne is a model. She's certainly pretty enough, he gushed. No, he didn't gush, he argued passionately. Sorry about that. She goes to track practice after school, and the coach is saying, oh, you're really good at track, you're really fast. Suspiciously fast runner, so you're gonna train with the guys, because apparently the girls are all just doing terribly or something, so she can't even train with her own, gender. The thought of displaying her speed for the world to see had a physical effect on Helen. She was so afraid that she was going to get some kind of cramp or a bellyache that she started to have a mini panic attack. Because, nothing gives you a panic attack like worrying about being sick. Finally, riding her bike home like the loser that she clearly is for riding a bike, she sees a car accident and gets really pissed because that means she's gonna have to take the long way home. Also, they call Giggles Gig, which is like a nickname for a nickname, which just seems pointless. So then she goes to bed at 7 o'clock right after dinner because she's got nothing else to do. And she's got this dream that she's standing on these rocks, and out from underneath this tree come these 3 really shadowy, witchy figures. And she's backing up trying to get away from them, and in the dream, she cuts her feet on the rocks. Her dad slaps her awake and says that she'd been saying things in her sleep like blood for blood and murderers, and she was listing out a bunch of people's names. But she convinces him, oh, it's just a nightmare. For once, she's pretending not to have problems. Personal growth. After her dad goes back to bed, she goes to the bathroom to get a drink of water. She's got cuts on her feet from the rocks. It was a dream, and I know, chapter 3,